Five. We're back. I'm gonna go grab a few drinks and we're gonna start today's class. Official test start time, 2 minutes. 5 pages, 5 paragraphs each. 5 sentences each paragraph, 5 words per sentence. 5 computer spaces in between, 5 revisions. You can use your hyper-scientific, you can use artificial intelligence, Siri, Sarah, Alexa, Copilot, Grok, ChatGPT, DeepSeek R1, or DeepSeek R2. Um, Let me see. Show the work. If you don't show the work, I'm going to assume you use technology, you will get no credit, you will not graduate, you will not qualify for a letter of intent for you to get a spouse, a potential partnership or endorsement or internship at a Fortune 500 blue chip company. But I can't make you want it. You know what I'm saying? All right. So how can we design? First thing we need to do is secure the drink. So we'll be right back. You guys have time. Eat something, stretch. I just came from a workout, so we're gonna work out together, but we gotta get this module done. 1 second. This side. Maybe that'll give me more space. See if this looks a little bit better. This side. So we're back. How can we start? First of all, now that we have secured the drinks, I'm trying to see if this game. If we need to hydrate first. Cooling system issue, right? Okay, so we're going to continue from the business meeting that we just had, right? Let me represent, you know what I'm saying? Gotta represent hard body, you know what I mean? Alright. Yeah, Joe forever, baby. Alright. So let us start where we left off. First of all, official test start time. I gave you guys plenty of time. Let me just make some marketing adjustments. Real simple, small things. But this way we can promote all of our franchises. This one is like, this is the chill spot right here. This is a secret, the company secret for people to learn. Franchisees, the owners, you know, this is for the owners, right? Let us pray. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for all the blessings in our lives. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for all the blessings in our lives. We worry not about what we don't have because we're in the process of getting it. And in that journey, everything that we do is in your name. Amen. Yo soy un judío, pero yo soy un capaz. Entonces, yo soy un poco diferente. Let me see, where could we start? Oh yeah, before I forget. So I gave you guys plenty of time. You guys have the best teacher in the whole universe. So do not, you know, unappreciate the opportunity, okay? First thing I want you to do, actually, you know, to make it more challenging, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have you, we're gonna run this at full capacity. Oh, no, let me make some adjustments. Oh, this is the wrong one. Oh, this is wrong. Here. Give it one quick second. This takes a process, you know what I mean? Now, I'm gonna have you build the simulator in both formats. Let me see if you guys remember, okay? So let's start with the count. It's gonna be a remnant of the way that the race is gonna start, but the class is gonna start. Like the business class, this is gonna be part of it. So this will be on the exam. So I'm gonna have you after the countdown, just think of the racetrack. That's all I want you to think about. What are the different penalties? What is the time penalty? Because we're racing against the clock. It doesn't matter how many other cars are on the track. We're trying to beat the clock. So open up your Baja app and let's start. While that loads, open up your Wikipedia. We're gonna have to build the simulator in a completely different format. So we'll see who's done their homework, right? Let me go back here. And before we even start, which that's your advantage right there, let's go directly to technology. And here we go. This is the comeback. If you can identify what company it is, you guys will get extra credit. Remember the last masterclass that we taught. What was the product that was being and you know presented to the masses? Now, let me see. Okay, hold on. Now, open up your Dominican newspapers. We're going to start the test backwards. So we're going to do the Spanish test first to see who's been doing their homework. Listín Diario, go to Salud. Oh my goodness. We're also going to do technology, but we're going to see how these products and services are being marketed. This is going to be good because now we're studying the market. So we need to find the version for what countries. That's going to be in your finals. So when you guys are ready, I'm going to give you guys a 1 minute countdown. We will start. Rapid fire. Rapid fire. Oh, wait a minute. We forgot one. Let's go to management and let's go to the basics. Let's see who read the chapters. Um, let's go. Okay, let's go to the introduction. 1 out of 13. So 13 extra modules. Remember, we're going to start the test backwards. Let's see if you guys can pass the test backwards. You change the answers, I'm gonna know. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we add anything else? We can add what element to design, which is equivalent. That's another question. Extra credit. All right. Who's ready? Say I'm ready. All right. All right. So let's go commodities. Give me the price of gold. Give me the price of silver, platinum, palladium, and copper 3M. You already know what's our business standard, so I don't even know why people ask these questions. It's supposed to be a test, right? So gold up 1.23%. You think that's a bad investment? I can't agree with you. Silver 0.79, platinum 0.36, copper 3M down 0.01%. 999 of a 0.1% chance. Chocolate, the pallet, 7,585. Coffee, 386. So what's a bigger industry? Let's say you were opening a new business. Gives you an excellent example. Let's go currency, top 20 coins. From number 20 on down. Official test start time. Athena USDE, Hedera, Chronos, Hyperliquid, Stellar, Chainlink, USD Coin, Cardano, Avalanche, Unis, SED, Leo, that's the fourth, Tether, Binance Coin, Solana, Sui, XRP, Ripple, Never, Tron, Dogecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Bitcoin. This is not even Ethereum 2. This is not even Ethereum 2. Bitcoin 110,900 is holding 971, 188. Ethereum 4,301, 3,359 of a penny. That's it. This is not financial advice. You know, you invest at your own risk and based on your own risk tolerance. We give you most of the master classes for free. So let's go. Actually, crypto, we're ahead. We're actually, yeah, we're very ahead because we already did the module on that. So let's go to OpenAI. Let's calibrate the system. You ready? Right, let's go. OpenAI forecast 115 billion cash burn by 2029. How many years is that? OpenAI raised its projected cash burn through 2029 to 115 billion, according to a report by The Information. The new forecast is $80 billion higher than earlier estimates and reflects escalating infrastructure costs needed to support its AI models, including ChatGPT. The company expects to burn over $8 billion this year alone. To mitigate costs, OpenAI is moving to develop its own server chips and data centers. It plans to debut its first in-house chip next year in collaboration with Broadcom, while expanding partnerships with cloud providers such as Oracle and Google. The Oracle deal includes a planned 4.5 gigawatt data center, part of a broader 500 billion Stargate initiative backed by SoftBank. The company now anticipates annual losses escalating to 17 billion next year and 45 billion by 2028. Alphabet A stands in the Green Ranger, 1.16%, $235. Oracle Corporation stands in the Green Ranger, 4.39%, $232.80 per share. Anthropic, this is as of the 5th. Anthropic to pay 1.5 billion to settle copyright case. Anthropic agreed to pay $1.5 billion to settle a lawsuit raised by authors related to copyright infringements committed during the training of the company's artificial intelligence model, a court filing showed on Friday. In addition, the firm will delete the LibGen and PILIMI datasets after the expiration of any litigation, preservation, or other court orders. In exchange, Anthropic will be given a pass release only for conduct up to August 25th. The settlement now awaits court approval. If approved, this landmark settlement will be the largest publicly reported copyright recovery in history. The proposed settlement will set a precedent of AI companies paying for their use of pirated websites. It was written in the filing. As of the 5th, Kenvue did 16% on report. Meta Pearson partnered to bring AI tools to educators. Meta Platforms Incorporated announced on Friday that it partnered with educational publisher Pearson to bring AI tools to educational institutions. Meta noted it will invest $20 million to support educators and students with AI tools and added, this will help ease administrative burdens, enhance lesson planning, and open new learning opportunities. The commitment was made as part of the Trump administration's AI pledge to America's youth. On Thursday, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said during a dinner with the United States President Donald Trump and other tech executives that his company will spend something like at least $600 billion by the end of 2028. So 600 billion, you're talking 3 years, so $200 billion a year. That's what he's hoping will cover all of the technological changes that are to come. So we're a small family-owned and operated technology company. We have to be up with movements in the markets like this. So 600 billion, about 200 billion a year. So it's a little over 20 something $1 billion. It's almost $1 billion a day. Or I think that's the direction that it's heading in as far as cost and startup cost. Okay, so now Pearson PLC, the Red Ranger, 0.63%, $14.19. Meta Platforms, the Green Ranger, 0.51%, $752.45. Okay. Okay, again, Tesla jumps 5% on Musk's pay plan. The shares of Tesla Incorporated rallied on Friday, adding 5% as the firms proposed a new compensation plan for its CEO Elon Musk. According to a filing, Musk could gain up to almost $1 trillion over the course of 10 years if he fulfills certain objectives. This includes the further growth of robotaxi operations and amplifying Tesla's value by trillions of dollars. Shareholders will be voting on the proposed package on November 6th during the annual meeting. The company's stock surged 5.02% at 9:54 a.m. Eastern Time, going for $355, 4,250th of a penny. Tesla Incorporated stands in the green, 3.64%, $350.84. Europe unveiled exascale supercomputer Jupiter. Europe inaugurated its first exascale supercomputer Jupiter at Forschungszentrum Jülich in Germany, with Commissioner Saharieva and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz making the launch. Ranked as Europe's most powerful supercomputer and fourth worldwide, Jupiter can perform over 1 quintillion 10 to the 18th squared. So this is the speed right here. Let's say performance-wise, right? Operations per second while running fully on renewable energy. The 500 million joint EU-Germany project will support climate modeling, advanced weather forecasts, and developments of AI technologies, including training large language models under the Future AI Factory JAIF. Its energy-efficient design also placed Jupiter first on the global Green 500 list. This is a historic milestone with Jupiter. Europe becomes the home of the most powerful computer in Europe and the fourth most powerful in the world, said Commissioner for Startups, Research and Innovation Ekaterina Saharieva. Broadcom jumps 11% after securing $10 billion chip order. Shares of Broadcom Incorporated rose over 11% on Friday in pre-market trading after the company announced that it secured a chip order worth $100 billion. Broadcom stated that this deal will materially boost its artificial intelligence revenue, but did not disclose the name of the buyer. Meanwhile, various reports speculated that the order came from OpenAI in an effort to produce its first proprietary artificial intelligence chip next year. Moreover, Broadcom revealed yesterday its earnings report for the third quarter of fiscal 2025, reporting that the revenue surged by 22% year over year, reaching $15.9 billion. The company's shares jumped by 11.51%, going for 341.33, paced at 7:29 a.m. Eastern Time. Broadcom Incorporated stands in the Green Ranger, 9.41%, $334.89 a share. And lastly, from the 22nd of August, Ethereum surges over 14% to all-time high. Ethereum ETH rallied more than 14% to an all-time high, surpassing an earlier record set in November 2021. The cryptocurrency maintained a positive momentum driven by the crypto-friendly policies adopted by the United States. Furthermore, investors were seemingly encouraged by the latest statement by Fed Chair Jerome Powell, which hinted at an interest rate cut next month. After hitting an all-time high of 4,885, 3,138 earlier today, at 7:31 p.m. Eastern Time, Ethereum jumped 14.45% to change hands for 4,833, 8,669, while Bitcoin increased 3.8% at the same time, trading for 116,747, 334 of a penny. So now, let's move on. Remember, we're going to take the test backwards. So, tecnología. Dominican newspapers, listín diario, tecnología. First, go to Salud, vayan a Salud, Hieroglyphic Technology. Primer artículo, tecnología. Shark Ninja en la lista Time, la revista Time, 100 de las empresas más influyentes del mundo en 2025. So let's see who did their Spanish homework, or English as a second language, or Spanish as a second language. You guys are all going to get graded. Italian, German, everything. All right, let's go. En su edición 2025, el listado Time 100 incluye organizaciones de sectores tan diversos como tecnología, salud, sostenibilidad, entretenimiento, retail y consumo masivo. La marca que transforma hogares en República Dominicana es reconocida globalmente por su impacto e innovación. Fuente externa: Santo Domingo, República Dominicana, como una de las empresas más influyentes del mundo, según la quinta edición del listado Time 100 Most Influential Companies 2025, ha sido reconocida Shark Ninja, compañía global de diseño de productos y tecnología. Para conformar la revista Time solicitó nominaciones en múltiples sectores y encuestó su red internacional de colaboradores, corresponsales y expertos externos. El resultado es un grupo diverso de 105 empresas que están tratando un camino esencial hacia el futuro y realizando contribuciones culturales y tecnologías duraderas. Ser incluidos en la lista Time 100 es un honor extraordinario y un reconocimiento poderoso a la mentalidad que impulsa la forma en la que pensamos, creamos y logramos en Shark Ninja, afirmó Mark Rojas, CEO de la marca. Somos solucionadores incansables de problemas movidos por la curiosidad y un profundo compromiso con mejorar la vida de los consumidores mediante una innovación disruptiva. Lo que hacemos no solo se utiliza, se celebra. Estamos redefiniendo lo que los consumidores esperan de sus productos cotidianos, agregó. Una fuerza global con impacto tangible en el país. Este reconocimiento global llega en un momento clave para Shark Ninja en República Dominicana, donde la marca se ha consolidado como un referente de confianza en miles de hogares a través de soluciones intuitivas, potentes y accesibles. He transformado la forma en que las familias dominicanas cocinan, limpian, se cuidan y disfrutan su día a día. Desde aspiradoras inteligentes que hacen la limpieza más eficiente hasta freidoras de aire y procesadores de alimentos que promuevan una cocina más saludable y creativa. Shark Ninja ha elevado el estándar de lo que un electrodoméstico puede ser. La transformación también ha llegado a la belleza en el hogar con la línea Shark Beauty. La marca ha revolucionado la rutina de cuidado capilar con tecnología de alto rendimiento, facilitando el estilizado diario sin comprometer la salud del cabello. Hemos visto cómo los hogares dominicanos adoptan nuestros productos con entusiasmo, no solo por su tecnología, sino por la forma en que facilitan la vida diaria. Con Ninja Kitchen, por ejemplo, estamos revolucionando la cocina, platos deliciosos y saludables, con el mínimo esfuerzo, en menos tiempo y con mejores resultados. Con Shark Beauty también estamos cambiando la manera en que las personas se cuidan, se expresan y disfrutan de verse bien, comentó Stephanie Goddard, representante de Shark Ninja en el país. La inclusión de esta empresa en el Time 100 refleja su evolución como una potencia global en innovación aplicada al estilo de vida, con miles de reseñas, 5 estrellas, presencia en más de 35 países, más de 5.200 patentes y un equipo de más de 3.600 colaboradores. La marca está redefiniendo cómo las personas cocinan, limpian, se cuidan y organizan su hogar. En su edición 2025, el listado Time 100 incluye organizaciones de sectores tan diversos como tecnología, salud, sostenibilidad, entretenimiento, retail y consumo masivo. Muy bien su artículo. Okay, so now let's go introduction. We're going to do the marketing segment, but then we're going to build the simulator and we're going to go to the module. This is just a warm up. So everybody stretch. This is our job. We're getting it done, right? Here we go. Introduction. If you are reading this, chances are that you are on your way to becoming a manager. Or maybe you are striving to become a better one. It may also be the case that the very word manager sounds dreadful to you and conjures up images of unjustified bonuses. Yet you might be interested in how good management decisions should be made or supported in both the private and public sectors. Whatever your personal plan and taste, what makes a good manager or a good management decision? The requirements for a career in management make a quite long list, including interpersonal communication skills, intuition, human resource management, accounting, finance, operations management, and whatnot. Shout out to all my people, whatnot, VaynerMedia, Gary V, Gary Vaynerchuk, the whole team at Whatnot. Even in today's class, we're able to talk about Whatnot. Whatnot is an application that lets you shop socially. It's really, really big overseas in the Asian market. So now it's crossing over to this part of the world. So it's like you don't want to go shopping by yourself. Basically, that's what it is. Maybe if you look down the list of courses offered within master's program in the sector, you will find quantitative methods. Often students consider this a rather boring, definitely hard, maybe moderately useful subject. I am sure that a few of my past students would agree that the greatest pleasure they got from such a course was just passing the exam and forgetting about it. More enlightened students, or just less radical ones, would probably agree that there is something useful here, but you may just pay someone else to carry out the dirty job. Indeed, they do have a point, as there are plenty of commercially available software packages implementing both standard and quite sophisticated statistical procedures. You just load data gathered somewhere and push a couple of buttons. So why should one bother learning too much about the intricacies of QMs? Not surprisingly, A fair share of business schools have followed that school of thought as the role of QMs and management science in their curricula has been reduced, and they have not been eliminated altogether. Even more surprisingly, however, there is another bright side of the coin. The number of software packages for data analysis and decision support is increasing, and they are more and more pervasive in diverse application fields such as supply chain management, marketing, and finance. Their role is so important that even books aimed at non specialists try to illustrate the relevance of quantitative methods and analytics to a wide group. The key concept of books like analytics at work and the numerati is that these tools make an excellent competitive weapon squared. Indeed, if someone pays good money for extensive software tools, there must be a reason. How can we explain such a blatant contradiction in opinions about QMs? The mathematics has been there for a while, but arguably the main breakthrough has been the massive availability of data thanks to web-based information systems. Add to that the availability of cheap computing power or computational power that'll be in the exam, and better software architectures, which of course we're going to be designing live, as well as smart user interfaces. These are relatively recent developments, and it will take time to overcome the inertia, but the goal is clear. Still, one of the objections above still holds. I can just pay a specialist or maybe learn a few pages of a software manual without bothering the insides of the underlying methods. However, relying on a tool without a reasonable knowledge of its traps and hidden assumptions can be quite dangerous. The role of quantitative strategies in many financial debacles has been the subject of heated debates. Actually, the unpleasing outcome of bad surgery executed by an incompetent person with distorted incentives can hardly be blamed on the scalpel, but it is true that quantitative analysis can give a false sense of security in an uncertain world. This is why anyone involved in management needs a decent knowledge of analytics. If you are a top manager, you would not be directly involved in the work of the specialist, but you should share a common language with you, and you should be knowledgeable enough to appreciate the upsides and the downsides of their work at a lower level. If you get an esoteric error message when running a software application, you should not be utterly helpless by the self-talk. If there are alternative methods to solve the same problem, you should figure out what is the best one in your case. Last but not least, a few other students of mine accepted the intellectual challenge and discovered that studying QMs can be rewarding, interesting, and professionally relevant after all. I will spend quite a few pages trying to convince you that a good working knowledge of QMs is a useful asset for your career. When information is available, decisions should be based on data. True, a good manager should also rely on intuition, gut feelings, and the ability to relate to people. However, there are notable examples of managers who were considered geniuses after a lucky decision and eventually destroyed their reputation, endangered their business, and went to jail in some remarkable cases. Without going to such extremes, even the best man may make a wrong decision because something absolutely unpredictable can happen. A good decision should be somewhat robust, but when things go really horribly, Being able to justify your move on a formal analysis of data may save your neck. Number two, QMs can make you a sort of universal blood donor. The mathematics behind is general enough to be applied in different settings, such as supply chain management, finance, and marketing. QMs can open many doors for you. Indeed, throughout the book, I will insist on this point by alternating examples from quite different areas. Number three, even if you are not a specialist, you should be able to work with consultants who have specialized quantitatively. You should be able to interact constructively with them, which means neither refusing good ideas merely because they seem complicated, nor taking for granted that sophistication always works. At the very least, you should be aware of what they are doing. I have met some people whose idea of applying QM is collecting data and coming up with a few summary measures, maybe some fancy plots to spice up a presentation, and that's it. In fact, QMs are much more than collecting basic descriptive statistics. So when we're putting together the deck, this is how we want to come across to all potential investors, right? Number one, if QMs are to be of any utility to a manager, they should help in making decisions. Unfortunately, modeling to make decisions is a rather hard topic. By the same token, basic probabilities and statistics are not enough to meet the challenge of a complex reality. Multivariate analysis tools have been applied, but there is a gap between books covering the standard procedures and those at an advanced level. We try to bridge that gap, which is somewhat hard to do by just walking through the lengthy and dry list of theorems and proofs. I will illustrate a few for examples that will hopefully provide you with enough motivation to proceed. We have emphasized the role of data to make decisions. If we knew all of the relevant data in advance, then our task would be considerably simplified. Nevertheless, we that even in such ideal situation, some quantitative analysis may be needed. This could be for the vehicle performing on the track. To give you an example, so when we're engineering, we're going to take a break, but when we're engineering, we're going to go rapid fire. Um, we that even in such an ideal situation, some quantitative analysis may be needed. So the vehicle may need to adjust depending on what are the stipulations of the competition, what are we designing, etc. So now you have to think like an engineer, basically. Just think about the vehicle in motion, and we're getting penalized at the Mercedes-Benz plant. Um, More often than not, uncertainty makes our life harder or more interesting. We deal with different examples in which we have to make a decision under uncertainty. The standard tool that helps us in such an endeavor are provided by probability and statistics, which constitute a substantial part of the book. Nevertheless, we will show that some concepts, such as probability, can be somewhat dependent on the context. Indeed, many features of real life may make a straightforward application of simple methods difficult, and we will see a few examples. Finally, we will discuss how, when, and why QMs can be useful while pointing out their limitations. So let us continue in one brief second. Everybody take a break. We'll be back with chapters 3, 4, and then we'll go to the simulator. So everybody else, stay tuned for that. And what am I forgetting? Take this. I shall return.
Surges on earnings and a big new AI chip customer who we report on OpenAI. I'm speaking with Qualcomm CEO Cristiano Amon, whose company partners with BMW to provide its automated driving brains. First, we check out these markets. Which is basically it's in $500 billion increments. So to reach the first one, it's a $2 trillion market cap, and then everyone after that is by half a trillion. But it's operational milestones that include things like number of Optimus robots, number of robotaxis in deployment, cumulative car sales.
And let's rock and roll because we're going to build the simulator in a different format. That is your challenge as an engineer today. We are Team Chevrolet, Team Corvette, C8, baby, and beyond. And you already see the concept designs for the C9 version of the Corvette. So the answer is here. What was the product that was being promoted in the last few days? The Samsung S11 tablet and the Ultra, the big one. So who do we have as today's sponsor? Please log on to macrumors.com. Macrumors.com. Any questions? Anything else you want to know? This is where you heard first. So this article is brought to you by Miss Julie Clover. Julie is the managing editor at MacRumors and has been covering Apple news and rumors since 2010. She oversees MacRumors guides, roundups, how-tos, reviews, and giveaways in addition to covering daily news. Her work is regularly highlighted on Tech, Meme, and cited by tech publications and news sites. She is a voracious reader, cinephile, gardener, and gamer, and she resides in California with her carnivorous plant. Julie can be reached at julie@macrumors.com or on Twitter. Excellent. So what is the competing product? It would be Apple in this case. So now let's build the simulator in two different formats. Rapid fire. You guys ready? Let's go. Oh, but wait a minute. Should we build it now before we introduce the track? Let's build it now. So we have, hold up. Those are my two wild cards. We're going to start with C5 Corvette. That's on the simulator. Let's add now. What's the following vehicle? The Lamborghini Diablo. Lamborghini Diablo. Now, when we're doing the modules, we can also read while we have it on the simulator because we have multiple formats. Now, we're going to go with the Pagani Zonda because it is the corrections to all of the Lamborghini Diablo estates. So let's go Zonda. No. We're going to have to go Horace Pagani, but let's go Pagani Zonda. Okay. Pagani Zonda. Boom. After the Pagani Zonda, Chevrolet Corvette C6. C6 Corvette. Then, and remember, every vehicle we add is on the following lane on the track. Once we select the track, you know how to build the measurement system, right? Okay. Let's go C7. C7, and then C8 Corvette. So we're going to double check if we missed any generations. But let's go C8 Stingray Corvette. Oh, no, go back. 8th generation of the Corvette. This is the correct model. So we have a total of 6 vehicles on the track. We have a C5 Corvette, which I wish I could move. Oh, it doesn't let me move it. That's why, okay, so this is traction control. So let's go there. And now we can actually start collecting data points. So all my engineers ready. Official test start time, 2 minutes. You guys have 13 seconds. You ready? Let's go. First of all, let's introduce the track because we're going to do the history module at the same time. So we agree we're going to take the test backwards. So go Nürburgring. And of course, it's the fastest version of the track. Nürburgring. Okay, perfect. So because everything is backwards, let's start with the Nürburgring. This is going to be your history module as well. So I can already put it on the simulator and go back to the live stream. All right, so here we go. Nürburgring. The green hell redirects for other users. The Nürburgring, German pronunciation, Nürburgring. It's a 150,000 person capacity motorsports complex located in the town of Nürburgring, Rhineland-Palatinate, Germany. It features a Grand Prix racetrack built in 1984. That's important. Think about automotive design. So it was built for the cars of the future. And a long Nordschleife configuration. Built in the 1920s around the village and medieval castle of Nuremberg in the Eifel Mountains. The North Loop is 20.830 kilometers, 12,943 miles long, and contains more than 300 meters, 1,000 feet of elevation change from its highest, from lowest to highest points. So 1,000 feet elevation, that's what the vehicle needs to adapt to. Okay. Scottish racing driver Jackie Stewart nicknamed the track the Green Hill. Let's see if we can go direct to the fast track. You know what I'm saying? This is the original 84 track. We can use this to design, but the original is better. 1984. Now, in the pictures, it looks completely different from when you're driving in the track. The track just feels different. But you wouldn't think that just from, let me see, I'm trying to Formula One. Okay, we could start at racing today. This will give us some inspirations and some insights into our designs for today. Several touring car series still compete on the Nordschleife, using either only the simple 20.830 kilometers, 12,943 miles version with its separate small pit lane or combined 25.38 kilometers long, 15.69. Track that uses a part of the original modern Formula One track without the Mercedes arena section. This is why we're getting penalized because that was added after the original design. So it's slowing the cars down. Because it's slowing the cars down, then, profits are, you get what I'm saying? There has to be a system that's able to speed up in those penalty sections because saving time is really the name of the design because we're trying to race the clock. We're not racing at the design. We already got the best designs. It doesn't look perfect. It needs a lot of work, but it's still a very nice design. All right, now let's go. Since we already introduced the track, now on the simulator, we can see where we're paying the penalty, which is this would be transmission 3, gearbox 3. How would you do this? This is the penalty area, right? So whatever we design, this would be gear 3. This would be gear 3. So differential 3, everything. System 3 online. Okay. Let's go. Other design examples? No. Okay, let's start introducing the competitors. So go on both formats, go to C5, 5th generation Corvette. And we can go to the simulator directly. Hold on. Okay, perfect. So now we have it in multiple formats. So let's just do a quick introduction. In lane 1, for Team Chevrolet, we have a Corvette C5. The Chevrolet Corvette C5 is the 5th generation of the Corvette sports car, produced by the Chevrolet division of General Motors for the 1997 through 2004 model years. So, 7-year run, 2 or 3 years for the prototype, so 10 to 12 years probably, give and take. Production variants include the high performance Z06, right? But this one, remember, the first one was 405, the last gen was 485, but in C6 it was 650. No, it was 500 because it had the 7-liter LS motor. So that one's 505 as a freight engine. That's how it comes from. That's from the race car. Now you already know the racing history of this car, right? Racing variants include the C5R, which is part of the study, because we already know what track we're selecting. A 24 hours of Daytona and 24 hour of Le Mans GTS and GT1 winning. This is the car. The C5 Corvette was the first General Motors vehicle to feature the 3rd generation small block LS engines. This was the last generation Corvette with pop-up headlights. So let's see if we can find the variants and work our way through. And actually, look, we have more design elements. The hardtop is amazing. That car is beautiful. Let me see. I think that's it. Let's move on to what this car is really supposed to be. It's the poor man's version of the Lamborghini Diablo, and we achieved that with 345 horsepower. That's like it was 497 for the competitor. So use your hyper scientific. Let's calculate this. Mm. 497 for the Diablo. Subtract 300. I want to say, did it have a little bit more? All right, let's say 380 horsepower. Or even, it probably has it. Yeah, you could say 400. Let's just use 400 as an estimate. So a 97 horsepower difference with just, let's say, removing the government. just as an example. The Lamborghini Diablo, meaning devil in Spanish, is a series of high-performance V12 rear mid-engine sports cars in the supercar market segment. Built by Italian automobile manufacturer Lamborghini from 1990 through 2001. It is the first production Lamborghini with a top speed in excess of 200 miles per hour. That's 322 kilometers per hour. It's 200. My motorcycle used to do like 320 kilometers back in the days, factory shit. In 1993, the Diablo VT for Vicious Traction became Lamborghini's first all-wheel drive production sports car. The car retained its rear-wheel drive character, but a computer modulated system could direct up to 25% of the engine's torque to the front wheels in case of rear axle slip to improve the car's handling. In 1995, Lamborghini also began building their first open-top V12 in the form of a Diablo Roadster. So let's take note of that. Just like the 3000 GT, that shit was basically the 3000 GT was the first foldable convertible hardtop. So this would be the first convertible with a V12. Maybe that's why the design looked the way that it did. We could go into the Marauder, but I don't think it's necessary now. Let's look at the design that's actually on the simulator. Let's see if we can find that design, because the original design is nice. Of course, we get the prototypes as well. But this car right here, this car is different. See, and the good thing is we could study its technology in the simulator. For today, we're going to focus on the front bumper design. Flip-up headlights. We have two vents right behind the headlights because when the lights is up, this is going to cause pressure, but it shows you the real direction of the trajectory of the design. Let's go to the Pagani Roadster. Let's put this also on the simulator. Let's study its aerodynamics from perhaps different angles so we can get a better idea. Now, it's good that the simulator has multiple controls. You know what I'm saying? This way we can basically engineer. So this could be part of the wind tunnel design right here. Because if you study the rear end geometry, you will know how to determine what the shape of the front bumper design should be. Now, also, I want you to pay attention to the length because the heat exhaust from where the V12 is located on the Pagani has a cooling vent. So, to improve performance, it knew it had a cooling problem. Also, look at the rear fuselage design. It's a built-in wing, just like the F40. The complete back was just a mesh. So it had a wing within a wing, if that makes sense. That's what gave the car the downforce that it has. Let's continue with the C6 Corvette. The Chevrolet Corvette C6 is the sixth generation of the Corvette sports car that was produced by Chevrolet division of General Motors for the 2005 to 2013 model year. So this one, you could base it on development. This one was in the market for 8 years, so an extra year. It is the first Corvette, so that means this car was very profitable. It is the first Corvette with exposed headlamps, as opposed to hidden headlamps, since the 1962 model. Production variants include the Z06, CR1, Grand Sport, and 427 convertible. Racing variants include the C6R, an American Le Mans Series GT1 Championship, and 24 Hours of Le Mans GTE Pro winner. So let's go back to the fifth generation. Let's see, we had a C5R. Okay, I understand. So now let's go to the race cars. Go back to the simulator for the sixth generation and pull up the race car, which would be the C6R, because this is going to give me the real performance figure. So that means in the simulator, give me that design. Is it this one? No. Oh, okay. But for the race car, that. All right, so let's go. Let's put the race car on the simulator. LS7 version, ZR1 is supercharged, but we need the race car. There we go. This is a good example of the race car. It's not the best, but it's a very nice example. And you see in the car real motion, real movement. This is real high performance. So automatically it has to be a C7R, and that's what we're going to study. So on the simulator, let's go ahead and load a C7R, because the civilian car is very luxurious. It's like a celebrity car. It's too comfortable. The race car, there we go. See the difference? The race car looks completely different. But that's what they're complaining about, the new design. You know what I'm saying? The new Corvette is the hottest car, right? According to the Pebble Beach Concordia Dance, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So let's put everything on the list. So let's go. Let's see what it says here. Okay, let's do the introduction. Since we've replaced each civilian application of the vehicle with the high performance real engineering vehicle. So the Chevrolet Corvette C6R. Matter of fact, that wouldn't even be right. Let's go back to the C5R, because that's the only way that people would understand the performance. You know what I'm saying? So let's load up a C5R. Z06, there's two versions. Oh, picture unavailable. Okay, we'll use the Z06 as a baseline. That's not a bad idea. All right, so let's go. Let's start with C5R. So now we're in the racing series, 5th gen, 6th gen, 7th gen, and we're gonna do 8th gen race car too. So let's upgrade the simulator. Give me the C8, but I need the race car. Get out of here. Give me the race version. I forgot what that shit is called. There has to be another version. Let's look for it, because I'm thinking there's only the GT3. You know, and GT3R, which is my class. You know what I'm saying? That's the highest class. All of them. ZR1, performance, nope, we gotta go to the race car. We need the race car. Where's the race car? Engine, Stingray, overview. This is faster. Transmission, suspension, wheels, technology, right-hand drive, available in right-hand drive. Actually, make all the cars on the track right-hand drive. We're going to use European specs. Z06 for this model is this is the high rev engine. It's not telling me nothing about racing. Because I need to know what classes it's actually running in. You know what I mean? CR1X. It's like I don't even want to use this design because it's just unfair. It's just completely different designs. Now we can look at the improvements. We can compare it to the improvements. All right, put every single car on the list, and then we'll see it from there. We're gonna do all race cars, or we're gonna do. My vote is all race cars. You know what I'm saying? Race cars are the most important race. So we can compare with every single one on the list. So, oh, wait a minute, these are the same ones. This is 7th gen. 7th gen on the list. Nope. Offline. This is inconsistent. Probably. Okay. We have some stats. Okay. Data points acquired. Okay, perfect. Now, who is the next challenger? Who's the next competitor? Is this the correct gen? I believe this is. That's C7. No, this is C6. All right. So they're taking different positions on the track. Perfect. So C6R, let's put it on the rig. C6R on the left. Lamborghini Diablo on the left. Excellent. Corvette C6R. On the left, this is C5R. We can apply all upgrades because we have all the technical upgrades available. So you can run any version: GT, FI, GT, GTS, GT1, American Le Mans, GTO. Basically, that you guys could write your own paper. So let's put that one on let's put it on the list as well. Then where do we start? This is C5R, and we have the Lamborghinis on the list. So secure it. We're going to use the OZ06 because they, I guess, different track positioning. C5R is on the list. Okay, excellent. So let's see if we're going to run upgrades or we'll make the system adjustment. All right, so let's go. Where will we start the design? If we go to C5R, which is where we are right now, let's write this down so we do not forget, because this is part of the actual design. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to design it simultaneously. You know what I mean? Basically, let's go C5R, length 182.8. And as an engineer, we have to make all these calculations because it's mandatory. Because that's what an engineer does. It is 643.1 millimeters. So cycle one. With this is what allows us to put it on the simulator and they're accurate in all data points. 78.7. Now there's going to be honorable mentions in every category. 1,999.0 millimeters. Now you should already be designing. I'm already designing engineering. Height 45.8. .8 inches or 1,163.3 millimeters. Right? So 45.8 inches. 1,163. Now we have the axle track information, wheel base. It's going to be the most important. Wheel base. You know why? Because that's going to control aerodynamic airflow. Aerodynamic airflow. So before we even proceed, let's move on to that module. And let's go aerodynamics. This way we have the proper calibration for the track. Aerodynamics. Aerodynamic redirects here. For other users, see aerodynamic disambiguation. Aerodynamics from ancient Greek and air oval heat. Dynamic dynamics. Dynamic dynamics is the study of the motion of air, particularly when affected by a solid object, such as an airplane wing. It involves topics covered in the field of fluid dynamics and is subfield of gas dynamics and is an important domain of study in aeronautics. The term aerodynamics is often used synonymously with gas dynamics. The difference being that gas dynamics applies to the study of the motion of all gases and is not limited to air. The formal study of aerodynamics began in the modern sense in the 18th century, although observations of fundamental concepts such as aerodynamic drag were recorded much earlier. Most of the early efforts in aerodynamics were directed towards achieving heavier than air flights, which was first demonstrated by Otto Lilienthal in 1891. Since then, the use of aerodynamics through mathematical analysis, empirical approximations, wind tunnel experimentation, and computer simulations has formed a rational basis for the development of heavier than air flight and a number of other technologies. Recent work in aerodynamics has focused on issues related to compressible flow, turbulence, and boundary layers, and has become increasingly computational in nature. History. Then we could go off into that module because you guys needed to. So extra credit for everybody. Thank you for coming to school today. Okay? History of aerodynamics. Aerodynamics is a branch of dynamics concerned with the study of the motion of air. It is a subfield of fluid and gas dynamics, and the term aerodynamics is often used when referring to fluid dynamics. Early records of fundamental aerodynamic concepts date back to the work of Aristotle and Archimedes in the second and third centuries before Christ. But efforts to develop a quantitative theory of airflow did not begin until the 18th century. In 1726, Isaac Newton became one of the first aerodynamicists in the modern sense when he developed the theory of air resistance, which was later verified for low flow speeds. The resistance experiments were performed by investigators throughout the 18th and 19th centuries, aided by the construction of the first wind tunnel in 1871. Now, all of these dates are important because once they designed the wind tunnel, this is how they could design the Nürburgring. So let's write that down. Wind tunnel, and let's just highlight what is the year? 1871. Let's just put a star so that we remember. We can put that in the simulator. Now, go back to the Nürburgring, and what year was it inaugurated? Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, the Grand Prix racetrack was built in 1984. That's what I was looking. Because in all reality, the track was built before, so I'm thinking whatever corrections they learned from the track is what they implemented. So that's what's going to change everything right there. So let's see how were they able to design, because you have to understand this has to go into the design of the vehicle. 1984, use your hyperscientific, so let's go. That would be like a 103-year advance. Uh, like it's a 103-year advancement. That's basically what it is. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so let's go. I have my wild card designs. Let me see. So we did C5R, correct? All right. We have C5R. So the second contender, the second competitor is the Lamborghini Diablo. So wheelbase is 104.3. So what is the wheelbase of the C5R? Hold up. C5R wheelbase is 104.7. 104.7. This is the C5R, right? C5R. C5R. Boom. So let's go now back to the Lamborghini. What is the wheelbase? 104.3. So 104.3. The Diablo is the original car. Does it make sense? C5R was stretched plus 4 inches. Boom. This is going to be better aerodynamics. 100%. Just by stretching it, or it was limited to production capacity. Remember, you guys have to think like an engineer. You have to think like you're designing this technology. This is your company, your investment, and this is the approach that you're going to need in order to run a successful business. So now let's go comparison. Let's go to the width of the car. We have length, we have width. We do have the width of the car. What's the width of the car? 80.3. 80.3 for, this is the original car. So let's write that down. The original. Original car. Okay, so C5R is 0.6 inches thinner, and that's going to be attributed to production savings. They had to make the frame, the wheelbase had to be, this is what, 178? No, it was 78.7. No, not even, no, it can't be right. Oh, the width, okay. That's probably in the manufacturing plant, the way that they cut the metal just to save that little bit of percent, but also to make the car lighter. So this could also be attributed to lightweight design. Boom. All right, perfect. So, curb weight for C5R is, let's see if we can find the correct specs. It just says power. Okay, this is a race car, so we don't have all the information, but we do have the power for it. So that will lead us to know more about the engine. Okay, maybe we could set it by the power figures, because I'm trying to think. I don't see it here. I got length, width, suspension. I have like the technical specs, but I don't have the curb weight. But maybe the other ones will give us an idea, depending on what was the weight increase between generations. So, okay, now we have weight. See, now it's online. 2,815 pounds. Let's go weight. 2,815 pounds. 1,276.9 kilograms. And we can divide it by gold or silver or digital. Fuel, Health Racing Fuel, Mobil 1, AP Racing. No. Oh no, it can only be racing fuel. And it can only use Mobil 1. So we have to put Mobil 1 as the oil. So let us continue. So for the contender, curb weight is, okay, so you have Diablo VT Roadster, which that's the design we're using. Diablo SC30 Jota, we could do a comparison of both. SV regular base model, SVR is the Type R, that's the one for Japan. Diablo GT, Europe specs, hard to find an American version. Diablo GTR, more exclusive. Right. So the original base model, 3,474. Diablo VT, which is four-wheel drive. Oh, so the original was two-wheel drive. That would be our class right there. That's GT3. So we're gonna go with 3474. 3474 Diablo base. So the race car is 600 pounds lighter, give and take. It could be a variable in the future. VT Roadster, 3583. 3583 VT Roadster. Okay. SC30 Jordan, 153. So use your hyper scientific. Let's see how much weight they save by adding the extra downforce with the snorkel. So let's go. VT Roadster is 3,500. Roadster. SC30 Jordan. We're going to subtract SC30 Jordan. 3153, 430 pounds. So 430 pounds for the Lamborghini. The Americans went for 600 plus. Chevrolet. Now let's go to Pagani. Pagani Zonda R enters the competition. Now, the Pagani Zonda is a mid-engine sports car produced by Italian sports car manufacturer Pagani. It debuted at the 1999 Geneva Motor Show, produced on commission in limited units. As of 2019, a total of 140 cars have been built, including developmental mules. Variants include a two-door coupe, a roadster variant, along with a third new variant being the Barchetta. Construction is mainly of carbon fiber. The Zonda was originally to be named the Fangio F1 after Formula One champion Juan Manuel Fangio, but following his passing in 1995, it was renamed the Zonda Wind, a term for a hot air current above Argentina. Model variants. The Zonda C12, debuted in 1999 at the Geneva Motor Show, is powered by a 6-liter, 366 cubic inch Mercedes-Benz M120 V12 engine, having a power output of either 408 brake horsepower, 300 kilowatts, 402, or 450, 331 kilowatts, 444 horsepower at 5,200 RPM, and 570 to 640 Newton meters of torque, 420 to 472 pound-feet of torque at 4,200 RPM, mated to a 5-speed manual transmission. The C12 can accelerate to 97 kilometers per hour, 60 miles per hour in 4 seconds, and to 161 kilometers per hour, 100 miles per hour in 9.2 seconds. Only 5 cars were built with the 6.0 engine, though the C12 was still available in 2002 when the C12S was introduced. One was used for crash testing and homologation, while another was a demonstrator and show car. The The remainder were delivered to customers during the next 2 years. The crash test and homologation car, having chassis number 001 for its prototype, was restored by Pagani's recently established restoration program called Pagani Rinascimento and was presented to the public at the 2019 Geneva Motor Show for the Zonda's 20th anniversary. Zonda C12S. The Zonda C12S uses a modified version of the M120 V12 engine used in the C12, enlarged to 7,010 cc, 7 liters plus, 427.8 cubic inches, tuned by Mercedes-AMG. The engine has a power output of 550 brake horsepower and is mated to a newly developed CIMA, CIMA, a 6-speed manual transmission in order to handle the high power output produced by the engine. The C12S can accelerate to 100 kilometers, 62 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds, and to 161 kilometers per hour, 100 miles per hour in 7 seconds. The McLaren F1 used to do 106 seconds, so this is a fast car. This would have been second place in 7 seconds. Lateral acceleration of the skid pad is 1.18 G, 11.6 m/s squared. The C12S can reach a top speed of 208 miles per hour, 335 kilometers per hour. Let's see if the other models speak about top speed, because if they speak about top speed, then that could be a focus and an emphasis on today's design. On the simulator, this is crazy. Okay, let's go to design mode, because we're going to study all of the corrections. Let's just zoom out of the wind tunnel, right? And let's see if we can find them. The Roadster is a good example. But you know what I'm thinking about is automatically Lamborghini Convoy. Just different versions. Now, as a wow factor, you could use the race cars, because the race car is going to reveal the original intention for the design. All the race cars are nice, clean design. Now, what we want is a design like this for the streets. This is long wheelbase too, so we're going to take advantage that we're basing it off the actual Roadster. This is the C7 officially, C7R online on the track. C7R. I'm trying to think of having them next to each other. Oh yeah, I do. Perfect. C6R on the track. Pagani, Zonda R, the race car on the track. For original design, let's just put them both back to back. Maybe we could focus on rear end design, because this will give us a lot of insight of how the front bumper design should be. We're going to use the Lamborghini Diablo as an example, and we'll zoom in on the front bumper area if we need to. Let's just divide the car into segments. So once we do that, we can start designing. Look at the wheel trajectory from the rear intakes. See the positioning of the intakes. This is a wing within a wing. This is what Ferrari and Lamborghini were really fighting about. It was the wing within a wing. So it's that intake and the way that it exits the shape of the vehicle. Now, at the Nürburgring, we're simulating having a penalty on turn number between 2, 3, and 2 and 4. So, Jordan Colvin, you know what I'm saying? Um, let's do, what is it, right? Let's go like this. Look at this design right here. Now, we're going to use the inspiration from the original vehicle. What's the original vehicle? The original vehicle is the Lamborghini. So, we'll start today's designs. Let's go through. Long wheelbase. It's a characteristic of the design. Minimal lift, as minimal as possible. And that's it. Straight across. That's the design. Nice canvas for clothes. Radar plus systems inside. Beautiful design. Long design, you know what I'm saying? Very beautiful design. This is one iteration of the design. You can always improve on it, you can always make it better. You just have to let the design flow. You know what I mean? Every car is going to be different. Every vehicle is going to be different. If you emphasize on what the aim was for the design, move on to the next one. Once again, now we continue. The Roadster is part of the design. Right? So let's go and see what the differences are with the Roadster. There's the Transformer version, which is just open top, and that will probably be impractical. SC30 Joda is the response to the F40. It's not a bad design. You could probably use that front bumper. Now you see the improvement with the snorkels on the SV, but SC30 Joda has them too. Oh, I see. This is the real top down. This one would be like the Z06 if you think about it. The only thing is the back glass is messed up and it made the car look different. But if you look at the Roadster didn't have that problem because the Roadster had the shortest overhang. Right behind the driver or right in front of the V12. And then if you look at this angle, you knew that there was a room for improvement because they were trying to accelerate the airflow on this side. But of course, we could design it better. You know what I'm saying? That's common sense. Now, look at this. This is the Zonda R, right? This is the design that needs to be the inspiration. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue with the design. Race design. Standard wheelbase. Beats on push. Just as an example, you know what I mean? Airflow is important. I like this. It's like a Porsche foundation. You know what I mean? Also, it has to be proportional. I like the vehicle to be small, nimble, not big, fun to drive. Cars are losing the fun factor when you drive. You know what I mean? Amazing, beautiful design, architecture, look at the structure, attention to detail, just the basic aesthetics. You know what I'm saying? Follow the airflow. Where does the air need to flow in your design? Once you have that, that's gonna build the entire design. Beautiful design. And just continue to flow. So, level design, high performance design. So, I make adjustments now. The original design needed improvements. The roadster was more extended. Oh, I like that version. This is the 6.0, but the GT and the GTR version. This is the version. This one is nice for a base model. You know what I mean? I didn't know that. This design is beautiful designs are important. These are high-end luxury consumer products. You know what I'm saying? We look for a different type of consumer products. High performance vehicles. You know what I mean? You have to be comfortable and have to be practical. You have to work. You don't know that. This is like inspired by the inside. So what does it need? It needs the wind makes the entire difference in the design of the vehicle. Very powerful machine. Now, build the rest of the components into the design. Investors need to see the working parts. You know what I'm saying? Now that you have the entire design, what you do is you implement everything that it's going to need to function. This design is the only design that we need. Now we can see the progress of the different types of designs. We have all the measurements to continue to design. So now we can take everything off the simulator. Right? We have completed our exams. Um, Looking at the design, this is C7R, and he's in the front. It does everything way better. All you have to do is design it in that way, and it's amazing. Right? Oh, the C5 design. Now we can do the study in the C5 because now we're going to implement digital design for the Z06 as a model, because remember that there is a hardtop that is a base model. So that is the true Type R. They're not that expensive, but they are kind of hard to get. They're very good price. And again, they last a long time. You just have to take good care of them. This color is nice. I like it because it has more of a gold tone. The new one is a much brighter for like the younger generation. You know? Let's go right here. Let's do this example. This one is not too bad. This one has the exhaust in the middle like the new 06. Not a bad design. There we go. The hard top is a more complete design. You know what I'm saying? The hard top is a way more complete design. And that's it. This now let's have a quick reflection. You guys made it through. Let's talk about design. So now, what is our reflection on the 5th generation program? It was an amazing car for a very good price. It basically went unchanged for a very long time. We have all of the evolutions, all the different versions. We know the original design, what it was being implemented to be. You know what I'm saying? You can go even 4th generation. 4th generation is full of beautiful design. You don't even have to open all this. Maybe, okay, we can put it on the simulator. Even the small simulator, you can put it. That's nice. That's nice. Ooh, the Type R. Yo, but then they got the sledgehammer back to back. It was the Type R that built the sledgehammer. The sledgehammer took all the way. Amazing. Oh, look, boom. We have the thing that we can rest. Good. You gotta stretch it. Yeah. Now, this design can be built very affordably, and I can still build a very high performing vehicle just using this is a basic design, but I could definitely build them. The more you design and engineer a vehicle, you make beautiful things. You know what I mean? Okay. Every time there's a design idea, you have to design it. Even if it's just the airflow stuff. Not all cars are built to be fun, you know what I'm saying? I like to build cars that are fun to drive. If the car's not fun to drive, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Why even drive it? Cars something to have fun, you know what I'm saying? It's in a movie, it's cool. Go see people go do stuff. That's it. That's all you need. Very beautiful machine. Long wheelbase, line. Massive ring, baby. That's what determines the difference between a supercar. It's the ring, baby. Airflow design. Take a look at that. That's the basic design. Now you don't know what idea that design could start. And you have another idea. So new design. That is my language. That is so
We always used to figure it out anyway. Like, actually, where we at, I don't know if we really gonna lose by that. I know, I just got actually, so what it is, I actually wanted to replace the whole system. My riser, yeah, so I gotta replace I want to replace the main disconnect. And then from our meter, our the pole that's on top of the roof is like leaning, it's bought. So like, I'm gonna replace that too, but I'm gonna replace everything at once. So what we want to do is change nozzles into the master. Yeah, to the back. And then they are a little bit too. Yeah, it's like pretty long. So we want to make it so that man and just have their own. And you gotta find it very fairly soon. You don't really wake up. It's just like, I would like another year, because I don't know, like, I love it. Yeah. I love you guys. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I can't wait to like, but even earlier now, like I just wanted to take them places where it's not there yet. I went to places all yesterday. Yeah, that's about like walk and stuff. And, like, but like right now, like I want to take all that time. That's why I'm
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I have to say, we need to turn off one, but then we can do it.
Right. Yeah. It's all probably be a little bit later unless I'm gonna try it. Not that it matters, but I was earlier. Like you want to really do kids kind of kids may be interesting, but I'm interested. So like as far as her really wants to do it. Yeah, but she'll come and like have fun. I what's up? Not letting them get in there. Yeah, so we've been at he actually was probably watching it there and watching like that. He probably, especially I wouldn't want to go there without looking because like once you get out of like I gotta leave early. So it's not like I'm late regularly enough. I want to leave early.
Right, it was needed.
Yeah.
I just wonder if it's very nice to go here anymore. I'm sorry. How we
When he bothers me,
So I'm really excited about it because it would be different if we didn't go. Which I'm inviting to the garden club, so the 11-year-old girl. So we're recording one song I've heard from the 11-year-old. Recording like, so we recorded one for the show once in the trip.
I do more of a.
Which you can make, we can make breakfast too. And you can freeze it. Hey, but it's actually, it's a fun thing to do with you.
I would say like I miss over. I didn't do that.
That yeah, no. She does very good. Very worried about her too.
And this is talking about being. And I put a numbers, you know, give me, I was like, I had two and they pulled me out from one. So, like, take me in school. Because it's really hard for me. So, they got back to working on it now. So, I know you do like a sister.
She's the one that's doing it. She's in
Okay.
She could have been but a lot of it too is just repetition, those type of skills.
Yeah. That is still just like that. I was feeling like, she was like, hey, and we were talking, you know, and I yeah, I said, because I was like, I was kind of like, I love you, and the you, you know, I was thinking stuff like that. So, but that was one thing that I remember, like, really understanding is, you know, reading.
Yeah.
I said Ava, I thought you.
I thought Ava was because her words speak. But see, Tony had somebody tell her for long because it was good as it. You got 3 4 When you get off of it, when you get off of it. But you know what? I know. I see what you're writing. I'm fine. I know the business plan. I just want to be 90 days, only because she's so that I have to find somebody that
Why does it
See, then we said that it's a sister for me.
Yeah. So. Why? Like very That's mine.
I'm like,
You're not afraid, you have to tell.
what I do is and then I read it. I let it go. Then if you don't, you look at that brother and sister.
See, I think they're in the whole thing.
No. To look at something. Because like people have really like, obviously, but I mean, that's something that one is personal and two, it's like they're not walking around playing it. I'm like, the way I interact with them is different. So I always judge someone. I always judge someone based off of my interaction with them and not based off what I read or whatever it is. And then unless it's like something that's like, I never go back to the school but I don't know, I don't have that. I think it's just because I feel like I was just always, I never go back.
No. Does he have to go for you to say? No, sorry, wait, we're gonna go home. At home. Oh, you can hear those. Okay.
I don't even like.
Small things I can, but I'm talking about maybe. Things that are more appreciated. I don't judge people like that.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't.
But y'all not certain, you can look.
I literally see the insides.
But you have to. Wait.
Now, these are just ideas. We're just seeing what you can be inspired to create. Now, check this out. Original type bar. Type bars are pulling this bar.
I know.
The bar will be for the next class. So the time that we have for today, will I have conveyed everything I wanted to convey to you guys? I'll let you know. We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Love you guys. You have the best teacher in the world, baby.